All right, so welcome to the very first session of our programming marathon. I'm actually expecting a lot of people in the course of the week, so let's hope all the people who have registered participate in the program. Okay, so before we start, I am Eric Obin. You can call me Professor. At least that is the name many people call me. Maybe let's just spend a minute to introduce ourselves. I am a programmer and a physicist by training. I'm also the founder of Electronics, a company that is into designing and building electronic systems, and I mean smart electronic systems like home automation devices, traffic lights, tracking systems, and so forth. I'm also the founder of Tech Foundation Africa and PCB Africa. The whole idea of Tech Foundation Africa is to help train the youth of Africa to make us technologically inclined or tech savvy. So Tech Foundation Africa is basically a non-profit. However, for some of our trainings, we do take some tokens to help us foot some of the bills that we incur in terms of our Zoom subscriptions and other administrative stuff. So yeah, anytime anyone feels to donate or help us with our course, you are always welcome to do so. So this is actually going to be, I think this will by far be my first webinar this year on Tech Foundation Africa, but we're going to, this is a marathon. So after this particular week, actually August is dedicated for programming for beginners. So after this, I'm going to have another 2 sessions also targeting beginners. Then in the next month, we're going to have an intermediate session. So that one, those who would have gone through this beginner session could follow. Then finally, we will have the advanced session in probably September, where we get to do real advanced stuff like building or designing website backends and applications using Python. And I also show you how to branch into other fields. For instance, if you are interested in game development, website design, computational physics, and any branch at all, I would give you guidance as to how to get into it. Maybe you are interested in data science, machine learning, or any of the artificial intelligence stuff. I'm hoping by the end of our marathon, you would know exactly which path to treat. All right, so that is a little bit about me. Fortunately, we have just a few people coming up at the moment. So let's spend a minute to introduce ourselves. Okay. All right, so Miss Hills Udonko, can you tell us where you are coming from and then why you are here? Yeah. Oh, before anyone at all, you tell us where you're coming or where you are connecting from, why you are here. Yeah, hello, Donko.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, I'm Hills Odonko, a dietitian, and I want to know more about programming.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yes, Ebenezer, Fuseni, it's up to you now.
Okay. Hello, sir. Sir.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, my name is Ebenezer and I'm from Kupuria. I pursued electrical and electronics engineering. And with the help of my friend, Mr. Gabriel Katameni, that's where I got to know you. And then also I'm interested in programming, but the fact was that I didn't get nobody to teach me. But since I realized that you were on and you posted me some message that these classes will be going on. So I was interested. That's why I joined. I want to know more about programming.
All right. All right. I hope your dream is achieved by the end of the program. Fuseni Yakubu. Yeah, let's hear from you.
A
Yeah, hello.
meteorologist, and I also want to know more about programming.
Fantastic. All right. Okay, so since we are all in the business of knowing more about programming, fortunately for you, you are at the right place at the moment. Now, anytime I teach programming, the first thing I do is to orient my audience because that is very necessary. If people don't have the right mindset, then they'll end up learning like the usual classroom lecture. Okay, so today, that's actually the reason I added a Sunday because I wanted a full uninterrupted Monday to Saturday training. But usually, since I am very interested and peculiar about my introduction, that's why I added a Sunday. So today is strictly for Sunday. Now, let me also chip in that we are using the free sections of Zoom. One reason is to avoid a lengthy recording. So anytime we go off, we rejoin till we end the session. I hope you're all okay with that. Okay, so like I said, I'm Professor, can also call me Eric. So before that, let's look at what computer programming is, okay? And I believe at least everybody knows a thing or two about computing or what a computer does, okay? All right, so these are the things I'm trying to achieve. Oh, forget about the Java in there. So we'll be looking at programming, overview of programming languages, and probably do some setup and installations, okay? So that is what I'll try to achieve today. So first take home, if you're able to sit through today's lecture, then there is a 65% chance that you can learn programming, okay? Why am I saying this is because of my years of experience in this field has taught me one thing, that patience is virtue. Okay, so let me ask this. What do you know about programming? At least you've heard people talk about programming, all those kind of stuff. What are some of the things that you've heard people say or talk about programming? Yes, let's have an interactive section.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And it's Ebenezer. Okay,
Yeah.
actually, what I've heard about programming is that people are saying programming is a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. That's
Okay.
So
All right, that's cool. The rest, anything you have heard or know about programming?
I'll continue from where the senior man stopped. It's a set of language the computer understands.
Okay.
So you input it, goes out at the end of it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Hills.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as they said, you use a particular language to instruct the computer to do something for you.
Okay. All right. So that's fantastic. Okay. So my next question is, if that is what you've heard about what programming is, then what do you think programming is? That's the first one was what you've heard people say about programming, but in your own understanding, what do you think programming is? Or it's still the same as what you heard people say? All right, probably let's just take it that way. Okay, so based on what you've heard, right, what activity do you think, what everyday activity can you liken to programming? What everyday activity from what you all said about programming, what daily activity do you think you can liken to programming? Yes.
okay, sir.
Uh-huh.
I can liken maybe I'm preparing like maybe rice.
Okay.
So in that case, my ingredients, at least how I'll combine them so that in the end I'll get the rice prepared. I can liken that one to programming.
Okay. So from what you are saying, then it means that there is this kind of order or sequence that something has to be done, right? And there are always some set of inputs and a process to yield an output, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other person? What everyday activity can you liken to programming?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
It's like when I went to the university, I was first learning how to prepare stew. The person who taught me up to now, I still use the same process. So without the same, I go with them. From this, you move to this. From this, you move to this. So that's how I learned it. So you have to follow the order to get the results you want.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. That's cool. That's good. That's cool. Hills, any ideas? Okay. Now all right. So with all this said, okay, let's proceed. Do you agree that if we take, let's say, 10 different cooks, right, and we give them the same ingredients to prepare the same meal, they would come up with different tastes? Do you agree to this?
I agree to that.
It's okay. So why do you think that happens? Same ingredients, right? Preparing same food, yet they will always come up with different tastes. Why does that happen?
Can I come in?
Oh yeah, you can come in.
First could be the timing, the sequence, and probably the best touch of the individual. Some cooks will choose to fry those before they add the onions. Somebody will start the onions before they add the tomatoes. Somebody will choose to fry the onions for. Somebody will fry the tomatoes for 5 minutes. So the sequence, way of mixing the ingredients vary, even though you have the same ingredients. So once you mix, you're mixing them differently. You can even follow the same sequence, but if your timings are off, you will never achieve this.
I think I like that. I like that. So basically that is it, right? Even the temperatures at which you boil the things, the hotness of your fire, all these things contribute to the taste of the food. Okay. All right. So with all this said, when we talk about programming, basically, we just want to teach the computer to do something, right? You see, a computer is like a small child, doesn't know anything until you instruct them or teach them how to do that. So for instance, right now, I'm using my computer for PowerPoint, right? So there is a program called Microsoft PowerPoint that contains a set of instructions that helps the computer to know how to do projection. Okay, if you are playing video, you will need a software, something like a VLC program, which now teaches the computer how to show videos or how to play videos. If you want to read a book in the form of a PDF, again, you need a program called a PDF reader or Adobe, such as Adobe Reader, that teaches the computer. So basically, anytime we install a program or a software on our PC, we are just teaching our computer how to do something. Is that okay? Because those software have within them the instructions. And if you liken it to what we do in school, it's basically the same thing. We went to school, we picked up courses, and lecturers came in to give us various instructions. So probably if you were learning mathematics, your mathematics lecturer comes in, gives you the instruction for the mathematics, and in essence, you are downloading, or he installs the mathematical concepts into your brain. Your science teacher did the same, and anytime any new lecturer leaves you or visits you, you learn something new, and that means you get to know something new. So it's the same thing with computer programs. So when we program computers, we are teaching them to learn how to do something. Is that okay? All right. Now, so technically, when we define programming, then we're going to say that is the process of creating a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. Okay, so the first one that I gave you is the general idea about programming, but if you have to give a technical definition, then it is the process of creating instruction sets to tell the computer to do something. And that is the focus for today's or this particular training. We are going to learn how to talk to the PC or our computers and teach them how to do something using programs. Okay. Now, one thing that you have to know is that without programs, computer is just a useless piece of metallic scrap. Okay, it will just sit there, do nothing, right? But with a program or with programs, the computer becomes something like a magical box that can do anything you want it to do. So for instance, if you install a gaming software, then your computer becomes something like a PlayStation, right? So it can magically become something based on the instructions that you put on it, and here magically in quotes. Okay, so what really makes a computer useful is the software, or are the softwares that we install on them. Okay, now one thing I need you to know, if nothing at all, is to know that computers are just tools. And like every other tool, its purpose is to make work easier. When we're in JHS, we define machines. A machine is any device that makes work easier, okay? The computer is one of those, okay? So being a tool and looking at the fact that I can install any software at all that I want onto a computer for it to become what I want, it means that the computer is not dedicated to any group of persons or any particular fields of study. Everybody at all can make use of the computer, okay? Despite whatever you are doing, even if you are selling pure water, you are doing an online business, you are an electrician, anything at all that you do, you can put the computer to use. And these are some of the things that I encourage through my Tech Foundation platform, that everybody should try to learn programming, because programming will help you boost your productivity in any form, in any work that you do. Okay, so it is the computer programs that actually makes the computer. That's something. So anytime those who have a computer, the first thing you do is install operating system, because without the operating system, you can't do anything with it. And even after installing the operating system, if you want to type something like prepare a document, you need a software, something like a Microsoft Word, or if you want to prepare a spreadsheet, you need something like Microsoft Excel. So a computer, if the computer is the body, then the software is like the blood. Without it, the computer is nothing, okay? Without software, modern computers are just what? Complicated machines. Now, computers are capable of some specific things, and those are the things that we count on as programmers. Now, these things include the fact that computers never get bored. Now, today being Sunday, probably you went to church or you've done a couple of things, some house chores, and by now I can say for a fact that you are feeling some tiredness or you are feeling some pain. Or if you happen to be doing something that is mundane repeatedly, you eventually get tired and get bored. Okay, but this is one of the things that computers never get or never does, right? A computer never gets bored, and it can do the same thing over and over and over, never complain. And aside the fact that it has the ability to be the ability to repeat, it also can do things quite faster than we can do as humans. And these are basically the things that we count on when we want to write programs, okay? All right. So now the next thing that I want to talk about is why you should learn programming. You should learn programming, or why everyone. For me, I think everyone should learn programming. Okay. Now, from my years of experience, and I've been programming since 2008. So technically, I have about 14 years of experience in programming. One of the things that I enjoy so much is the creativity aspect of it. Okay. Every time, everything that you do, you are doing something new. So gradually you learn how to think, because everything you have to do in programming is problem solving, okay? And to solve a problem, you have to think. That means repetitive thinking gradually makes thinking a skill, because everything that you do repeatedly becomes a skill. That means that thinking can also become your skill, not something that you have to, at a point in time, decide to do, but something that becomes your second nature. Okay, so I really love that thing about computers, our programming, because of the fact that every time I'm thinking, and so it's like jamming your mental, your brains, okay? You widen or you strengthen your mental capacity. Now, currently, everybody is complaining. In fact, unemployment is every government's challenge. I don't know so far which country could be like everybody in this country is employed. Definitely, there'll be a couple of people who are not employed, okay? And you see, unemployment is a situation where there is the human resource, or there is the labor force, if I may put it, with the required skill. However, they don't have jobs to do. Okay, that's unemployment. But currently, if you look around, you definitely probably have friends or brothers who have completed school and are unemployed, right? But if I told you that there are a lot of jobs available right now, would you believe it? Yes, you should, because there are millions of jobs available. The only problem is that these jobs are related to programming, okay? In fact, I could sit in Ghana and be working for companies outside, okay? If you go on remote platforms, people keep posting jobs day in and day out. They need people to work on these jobs. But you see, the problem now is that we don't have people with the necessary expertise to work on those jobs. So gradually, unemployment is taking a new form called unemployability, right? Now, unemployability will be much more dangerous, because in this sense, there are jobs, all right, but the people rather don't have the required skill to take on those jobs, okay? And in this case, both the business and the employees are going to suffer, because that means that businesses will need people to do their jobs, yet they will not have people to do that. And employees will not have jobs to do because they don't have what it takes to do those jobs. Okay, so I'm ending this session. Let's quickly join and then continue, okay? Thank you.